Krishna. My name is Abhinay and I will be talking about Krishna's devotion. So I prepared two slokas. One is from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 26, and one is from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 34. So, Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yavi bhakta prayachati taddaham bhakta abhayam asnami prayatmana. Patram, a leaf, pushpam, a flower, phalam, a fruit, toyam, some water, ya, whoever, me, to me, bhaktya, devotion, prayachati, freely offers, tad, that very thing, aham, I, bhaktya patam, presented with devotion, asnami, accept, prayatmana, from a pure-hearted devotee. If a pure-hearted devotee offers me a leaf, a fruit, a flower, or some water with love and devotion, I will surely accept that gift. Another sloka is Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mammeva yasi yuktaivam atmanamadparayana. Always absorb your mind in me, become my devotee, offer your obeisances to me to worship me and to dedicate yourself to me. In that way, your mind and body is fully devoted in me and my service, and you will certainly achieve me. So the summary of those slokas are what you should do to attain bhakti and to attain Krishna. Thank you and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my name is Saket, and today I'd like to talk about the types of faith in God. The two slokas I'll be discussing are both from chapter 17 of the Bhagavad Gita, and they're verses number 4 and 6. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Trivida Bhavati Shuddha Dehinam Cha Svabhavyaja Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrinu. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha, the Supreme Lord said, Trivida, of three types, Bhavati is Shraddha, faith, Dehinam, of human beings, Sa, that, Svabhavyaja, born of one's previous modes of nature, Satviki, goodness, Rajasi, passion, Cha, and, Eva, certainly, Tamasi, ignorance, Cha, and, Ititam Shrinu, now hear. The Supreme Lord says, there are three types of faith, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Human beings acquire these types of faith based on what they have done in their previous lives. Yajanti satvika devan yaksha rakshamsi rajasa pretan bhutas ganams chanye yajanti tamasa jana. People with the faith type of goodness will worship the demigods. People with the faith type of passion will worship the spirits and ancestors. People with the faith type of ignorance will worship the Yamadutas and people in hell. The summary of the two shlokas is, there are three types of faith, goodness, passion, and ignorance. People with the faith type of goodness will worship the demigods. People with the faith type of passion will worship the spirits and ancestors. And people with the faith type of ignorance will worship the Yamadutas and people in hell. Thank you and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my name is Chaitanya. I'm going to talk about the soul. The sloka I'm going to tell you is in chapter 2, verse 22 in the Bhagavad Gita. Vasanti jirnani yata vihaya navani griyanti naroparani tat sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyanti navani dehi. Vasanti, garments, jirnani, old and worn out, Yata, as it is. Vihaya, giving up. Navani, new garments. Grihanti, does accept. Nara, a man. Aparani, other. Tat, in the same way. Sharirani, bodies. Nara, a man. Vihaya, giving up. Jirnani, old and worn out. Anyani, different. Samyanti, barely accepts. Navani, new set. Dehi, the embodied. The translation of this is, as a person who puts on new garments and giving up old and useless ones. It's like, and the soul accepts new material body. It's like when we're changing a shirt, our body goes to another shirt. Like it's worn out, our shirt is worn out. The meaning of it is, many modern scientists do not believe the soul. So, at the same time, they don't know where the energy comes from the heart. But there's some proof for the soul. The change of it. Childhood to boyhood, boyhood to youth, youth to old age to another body. So there's some proof, but not for the modern scientists. They don't still believe it. But Indian scientists do believe it. This is a story that relates to my sloka. One day, Krishna and Arjuna were sitting on a tree. Krishna was the super soul. Arjuna was the soul. Arjuna was the soul, but he was still eating the food. But Krishna was watching. So a super soul watches for a soul. Another story that relates to my sloka is, a boy that was 6 years old remembered his previous life. He remembered when he was born, where he was born, where did he live, and who was his parents, and how did he die. So he remembered 5 things in his previous life. He told about how he died. He died when he was riding his bike and someone was riding a motor scooter and crushed him. He got many head injuries. The day after, he died suddenly. And thank you for listening to my presentation, and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Manasvini and today I would like to talk about chapter 16 in Bhagavad Gita. What is the topic of chapter 16? It's comparing the divine and dynamic qualities that are present in every human being. Krishna begins by naming some of the divine qualities, such as non-violence, truthfulness, and freedom from anger. Here is a sloka naming some of them. Ahimsa satyam akrudas tyaga santir apai sunam daya bhute swalolutam mardavam hrir achapalam. The word-by-word meaning is ahimsa, non-violence, satyam, truthfulness, akrudas, freedom from anger, tyaga, rejection of something, santir, being calm, apaisunam, don't like fault-finding, daya, mercy, bhuteshu, towards all living entities, alolutam, freedom from greed, mardavam, gentleness, hrir, modesty, achapalam, determination. These divine qualities belong to godly men who endow divine nature. Krishna also lists some of the demonic qualities, such as false ego, lust, and anger. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodhancha samshrita mam atma paradeheshu pradvi santo basuyaka. The meaning of this sloka is, those who take shelter of false ego, lust, and anger hate me, the Supreme Soul, who resides in all the hearts of my devotees. The summary to my presentation is all the divine qualities are a stepping stone towards self-realization. But those who have the dynamic qualities are stuck in the endless cycle of birth and death, being born as insects, animals, and other creatures. Thank you for listening to me, and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. My name is Siddharth, and today I am going to be giving a speech on part of chapter 17 of the Bhagavad Gita. So what all I'm going to be talking about is the purpose of food, what the three types of food are and their description, and finally, how the three types of food affect your spiritual placement. So what is the purpose of food? The purpose of food is to basically aid bodily strength, increase the duration of life, and purify your mind. According to the Bhagavad Gita, these are the only purposes of food. So there are three types of food: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. And I will be explaining what these three types of food are by some slokas from the Bhagavad Gita. Let's start with sattvic foods. Ayu sattva balarogya sukha priti vivardhana rasya snegdha stira hridya satvika priya. Ayu, duration of life. Sattva, existence. Bala, strength. Arogya, health. Sukha, happiness. Priti, and satisfaction. Vivardhana, increasing. Rasya, juicy. Snigdha, fatty. Stira, enduring. Hridya, pleasing to the heart. Ahara, food. Sattvika, to one in the mode of the goddess. Priya, palatable. The overall meaning of this sloka is saying that sattvic foods are the best. They are extremely healthy for you, and they are juicy and sweet. Not only are they extremely healthy, but they're extremely tasty as well. So these types of foods are eaten by people in the mode of the goodness. Next is rajasic foods. Katvam lalavanati yashna tikshna ruksha vidahina ahara rajasa seshta dukkha soka maya prada. Katva, bitter. Amla, sour. Lavana, salty. Atiushna, very hot. Tikshna, pungent. Ruksha, dry. Vidahina, burning. Ahara, food. Rajasas, to one in the mode of passion. Yeshta, palatable. Dukkha, distress. Soka, misery. Maya, disease. Prada, causing. The overall meaning of this sloka is saying that rajasic foods are the extreme unhealthy extremes. They're like too pungent, dry, salty, and sour. These types of foods are eaten by people in the mode of passion. Last and least is tamasic foods. Yata yamam gatarasam puti puryushita chayat uchishtam api chamedyam bhojanam tamasya priyam. Tamasic foods are the absolute worst. They are stale, unclean, decomposed, and they are foods cooked more than 3 hours before being eaten, except for prasadam. These types of foods are eaten by people in the mode of darkness and ignorance. So you definitely don't want to eat these types of foods. So lastly, it's how sattvic foods affect your spiritual placement. So how do they? They affect your placement because if you eat sattvic foods, you will be going to higher places such as Vaikuntha and Krishnaloka. So, of course, you'd have to do a lot of other things, but eating sattvic foods are like about 40% of the job. If you eat rajasic foods, you will be going to Brahmaloka. And you will be reborn as a human for hundreds of times. And lastly, if you eat tamasic foods, you will be going to the lower lokas. And you will be born as lower planetary creatures such as insects and such carnivorous animals. So my sincere hope for you all is for you to eat sattvic foods and go to Vaikuntha and Krishna Loka. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Anupama Devi Dasi, and today I will be talking about the miseries of the material world. I will be reciting a couple slokas from the Bhagavad Gita. How many of you know how many times you were born? Do you know if you were born as a plant, an animal, an insect? Do you even know if you will ever be born as a human again? Many great people have came, and many great people have left. But no one has been able to answer these questions. Lord Krishna answered all our questions in 2 slokas from the Bhagavad Gita. The first sloka is from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse 16. Abrahma bhuvanaloka punaravartino arjuna mamupitya tu kauntaya punarjanmana vidyate. Abrahma bhuvano, from the abode of Lord Brahma. Loka, planet. Punar, again. Avartino, return. Arjuna, O Arjuna. Mam, me. Upetya, attain. Tu, you. Kauntaya, son of Kunti. Punar, again. Janma, birth. Na, no. Vidyate, there is. This sloka means that in all planets, including the abode of Lord Brahma, there is temporary happiness. You will undergo a constant cycle of birth after birth and death after death. But if you have devotion to Lord Krishna, you will be liberated from this cycle. The second sloka is from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse 19. Bhuta grama saivya bhutva bhutva praleyate ratriyagam vacha parta prabhavati aharagam. This sloka means that if one is born on the arrival of Lord Brahma's night, he will be dead by the arrival of his day. And if one is born on the arrival of Lord Brahma's day, he will be dead by the arrival of his night. The only way one can be liberated from this cycle is if they have true devotion to Lord Krishna. If you have true love for Lord Krishna, then you will be liberated from this cycle. So, how many of you want to take another birth? Do you want to die again? If not, then chant the holy names of Lord Krishna and be happy. Thank you for your time, and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Radhapriya Devi Dasi, and today I'll be talking about a good character. A good character is someone who does not agitate other people's mind. You'll understand more after I say more of this sloka. This sloka is from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 15. Ananga devam karam vakyam satyam priya hitam jay yat sarabhashyam jevan van mayan tapu ujjay. A sturdy in speech, speaking words are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating other people's mind. Also reciting the regular Vedic literature. Ananga devam karam means not agitating other people's mind. Vakyam is words, satyam is truthful, priya is dear, hitam is beneficial, cha also, yat which, satya of Vedic literatures, abhashyam practice, van may, cha also, ave certainly, van mayam of the voice, tapa austerity, ujjay is said to be. One should not agitate other people's mind, and even if they're a teacher. The teacher should not even agitate the students' mind. Even if they make a mistake, they should always just help. Hare Krishna, and thank you for listening.
Donate to this cause. Donate to that cause.
I am sure you have heard and seen this many times. How many of you have experienced this before? An example of a charity you might have seen is a food drive. You might have had one at school or seen one in front of a grocery store. Hare Krishna, my name is Janvi, and today I will be talking to you about the 3 modes of charity. The first type of charity I would like to talk about is the mode of goodness. Bhagavad Gita verse, chapter 17, verse 20 says, Daitavyam iti yaddanam diyate anupakarine deshe kali cha patre cha taddanam satvikam smritam. Daitavyam, worth giving, iti, thus, yat, that which, danam, charity, diyate, is given, anupakarine, irrespective of return, deshe, at a proper place, kale, at a proper time, cha, also, patre, to a suitable person, cha, and, tad, that, danam, charity. Satvikam, in the mode of goodness, smritam, is considered. Charity done at a proper place, in the proper time, given the proper attention, and to a suitable person is considered charity in the mode of goodness. An example would be giving to a spiritual teacher, such as a guru, and doing this without any expectation of return is considered an act of goodness. The second type of charity I would like to talk about is the mode of passion. Bhagavad Gita chapter 17, verse 21 states, Yatu pratu bakarartam phalam udeshya vapuna diyate cha pariklishtim taddanam rajasam smritam. Charity performed with some expectation of return, or with the desire of fruitive results, or in a grudging mood, is considered charity in the mode of passion. An example would be giving so that you could get your name advertised in a newspaper, or giving so that you could get some benefit in the future. I'm going to give something to this famous person's charity so that they can make my business popular. Or I'm going to give something to my neighbor for his or her birthday so that they can help me if I'm ever in trouble. In these scenarios, you give to get, and there is some selfishness present. The last type of charity I would like to talk about is the mode of ignorance. Bhagavad Gita verse, chapter 17, verse 22 says, Adesha kaliyaddanam apatrebhyascha diyate asatkritam avanyatam tatamasam udaritam. Charity performed at an improper place, at an improper time, to a person who isn't worthy and not given the proper attention is considered charity in the mode of ignorance. An example would be giving to terrorists. Another would be tossing a coin to a beggar on the street. Yes, that may be a noble act, but it was not done with respect, nor was it given the proper attention. Also, they are not worthy of it because they can at least try to go out and get a job. As we can see, the 3 kinds of charities are goodness, sattvic, passion, rajasic, and ignorance, tamasic. One should always strive to do the charity which is performed with respect, at a proper place, and in the mode of goodness. Before I leave, does anybody have any questions? Thank you and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Dakshayani and today I'm going to talk about material energies and spiritual energies, described in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 4. The sloka says, Bhumir aponalo vayu kamano buddhirevacha ahankara itiyamme pinna prakritir astada. Bhumi, earth, apa, water, anala, fire, Vayu, air, Kam, ether, Mana, mind, Buddhi, intelligence, Eva, certainly, Cha, and Ahankara, false ego. Iti, thus, Iyam, me, Binna, separated. Prakriti, energies, Astada, eightfold. The literal meaning of this sloka is earth, water, fire, air, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 constitute my separated material energies. The material world is temporary. So, you should always try to go to the spiritual world. So in the material world, if you commit a sin, then that means that you will never go to the spiritual world. But in the material world, and if you chant and attain Krishna, then you will definitely go to Goloka Vrindavan. So what should you do? You should always chant and attain Krishna in the possible time you get. Thank you for your time, and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, good evening. Hi friends, how are you doing? This is Gokul. I can talk about a very important sloka from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna told it to Arjuna. The sloka is Sadatanma Padityakshay Mamekam Sadanam Bhaja Aham Tavam Sadva Papepyo Moksha Shamya Masucha. Abandon all the diligence away and surrender to Krishna. Don't worry, Krishna will take all your selves away and give you moksha. Don't worry, all the best way to reach Krishna. Chant, can you all chant with me, please? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I go to sing a Krishna bhajan too. O Shamela, O Sundara, Chita Chora Nandana. O Shamela, O Madhava, Madhusudana, Chita Chora Nandana. O Shamela. Thank you friends for all listening to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Medha and I want to tell you about my favorite topic from the Bhagavad Gita. How Krishna takes care of his devotees. Even though Krishna takes care of his devotees, there are some pure devotees who have more love for Krishna and want to take care of Krishna more than Krishna wants to take care of them, such as Mother Yashoda. To learn some more, we're going to go into the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 58. This sloka, Krishna says, Machitta sarva durgani matprasada tarishyasi atachetvam ahankaram nasroshyasi vinangsyasi. To learn more, let's go into a word-by-word meaning. Machitta, being in consciousness. Sarva, all. Durgani, impediments. Matprasadat, by my mercy. Tarishyasi, you will overcome. Ata, but. Chet, if. Tvam, you. Ahankara, by false ego. Nasroshyasi, do not hear. Vinangsyasi, you will be lost. So the general meaning of this sloka is, if you are in Krishna consciousness, you will pass over all obstacles of the material life by Krishna's grace. But if you're not in such consciousness, you will be overcome by false ego, you will be stuck in this material world. So, a Krishna devotee is not anxious about completing duties in his life. He's more wanting to serve Krishna. Krishna, in turn, makes sure that his devotee is always so close to him and in comfort and well-being. A Krishna devotee is free to act because everything that he does comes from Krishna within and is always confirmed by his spiritual master. To learn more, let's go into another sloka from chapter 18, verse 56 of the Bhagavad Gita. Sarva karmanyapi sada kurvano matyapasraya matta sadadavapnoti sasvatam padam avyayam. The general meaning is, even though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee by my grace will reach the eternal imperishable spiritual abode by my protection. Matvyapasraya basically means under my protection. As in Krishna, Krishna always takes care of his devotee and his devotees always act under his guidance. But sometimes there can be some difficulties and Krishna is very, very kind. Even though there are difficulties, he makes sure they will have guaranteed entrance to the Krishna Loka, which is the transcendental abode. In that Loka, there is no change. It is imperishable and spiritual and full of knowledge. Thank you for listening to me, and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. My name is Shreesh and I'm from Gokul Bhajan. Today I'm going to talk to you about controlling your mind. We'll discover that in chapter 6 of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 5. Udaret atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hai atmano bandur atmaiva ripur atmana. This sloka means one must deliver himself and not degrade himself with the help of his mind. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and also the enemy as well. You're wondering, what does this mean? This means that yoga, that's what it means. Yoga is out in the word dhyana yoga from chapter 6. You're wondering why? Because the whole topic that I'm talking about has to do with yoga. Yoga is controlling your mind. So, controlling your mind is very easy. Chant, that's all you need to know. That's step 1. But there are 3 reasons that your mind is your enemy. It entangles your body into material desires. And who wants that? And it also tangles your senses into material desire. And last but not least, it causes bond liberation, which is the worst of them all. So, everybody chant. Hare Krishna, and thank you for listening to my talk.
Hare Krishna. My name is Lakshmi Neha, and today I will be talking about things you should remember at the time of death. I'll talk about 2 specific slokas from the Bhagavad Gita that relate to this topic. The first sloka is Yam Yam Vapi Smaran Bhavam. It is chapter 8 and verse 6 of the Bhagavad Gita. Yam Yam Vapi Smaran Bhavam Tyajati Ante Kalevaram Tam Tam Yevate Kaunteya Sadatat Bhava Bhavita. This sloka has a very deep meaning, but let's go deeper and figure out the meaning of every single word by word. The first word, yam yam, means whatever. Vapi, at all. Smaran, remembering. Bhavam, nature. Tyajati, gives up. Ante, at the end. Kalevaram, this body. Tam tam, similar. Evaite, certainly guess. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, Sada, always, Tat, that, Bhava, the state of being, Bhavita, this remembering. So basically all these words make up the meaning, oh, whatever one remembers at the time of death, O son of Kunti, he will attain without fail. So for example, Maharaj Bharata, even though he was such a great personality, at the time of death he thought of a deer. In his next life he was born as a deer. Although as a deer he could remember all his past activities, he had to accept the deer body no matter what. The next sloka I'll be talking about is Anta Kalecha Mameva. This sloka is chapter 8 and verse 5 of the Bhagavad Gita. Anta kalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprati samadbhavam yati nastya samsaya. This sloka means, if one remembers me and me only at the time of death, he will come to me for sure, says Lord Krishna. So since Maharaj Bharata thought of a deer at the time of death, he became a deer in his next life. In this sloka, the importance of Krishna consciousness is stressed. Anyone who quits the body thinking of Krishna and Krishna alone will certainly go to Krishna. So basically, whatever you think of at the time of death, you will become that or go to them for sure. But if, for example, if you spend your whole life serving Krishna and at the time of death, you forget Krishna, even though you forgot Krishna, Lord Krishna will definitely remember you if you spent your whole life serving Lord Krishna. But if you remember Lord Krishna at the time of death, you will also go to him for sure. But the real question is, in all this pain at the time of death, can one actually remember Lord Krishna? Thank you and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Saanvee Sankara, and today I am going to be talking about the worship of the Devatas. How many of you worship the Devatas or are still worshipping the Devatas? Well, through Master Ji's teachings, we have all learned that worshipping Devatas is not the right way to go. Our goal is to go to Goloka and to serve Krishna and Radharani. Well, we also know that when you worship another Devata, or if you worship your ancestors or ghosts or spirits, we know that we are going to take birth among those or live with them. And we also know that when you worship your ancestor, you're going to go to that planet and you're not going to stay there like internally, like how you would when you go to Goloka. You are temporarily staying there like how you would temporarily stay on earth. You will fall back down to earth sooner or later. My first sloka is Yanti Deva. It is from chapter 9, verse 25 of the Bhagavad Gita. Yanti Deva Vrita Devan Piturnyanti Piturvrata Bhutani Yanti Bhutyaja Yanti Madhya Jinopi Mam Yanti Madhya Jinopi Mam. For word-by-word meaning, it goes like this. Yanti means go. Deva Vrata means those who worship the Devatas. Devan means the Devatas. Pitur means ancestors. Yanti means go. Pitur Vrata means those who worship the ancestors. Bhutani means spirits or ghosts. Yanti means go. Pitur Bhutani means those who worship the spirits and ghosts. Yanti means go. Madhyajino means those who worship Lord Krishna. Api means indeed or surely, and Mam means me. So if you put that all together, the definition is those who worship the Devatas will go to the Devatas. Those who worship the ancestors will go to the ancestors, and those who worship spirits or ghosts will go to spirits or ghosts. Those who worship me will surely come to me. We all know that those who worship Devatas for a special reason, and that special reason is they have some type of desire, some lusty desire, a material desire that does not stay with them forever. Material desires are always temporary and they do not matter at all, like wealth and other stuff. So my next sloka is Kama Starstar. It's from chapter 7, verse 20 of the Bhagavad Gita, and it goes like this. Kamar star star hita jana prapanyade anya devata tam tam niyamam ashtaya prakruta niyata swaya. So this means that those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires such as wealth follow the rules and regulations of worshipping certain devatas to overcome their distress. Thus, they are continuing to worship the devatas and they are overtaken by their material desire. For more information, please go to this website. Thank you and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Yashica, and today I will be talking to you about Jivatma and Paramatma. Did you know that Paramatma is located inside each and every one of us? He is a form of the Supreme Lord situated in our hearts. He is like a blind judge, a witness to our actions, and an influence to our decisions. So what exactly is the Paramatma's job? Let's find out in Sloka 15.15 of the Bhagavad Gita. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvirahamiva vedyo vedanta krit veda vidiva chaham. Sarvasya, of all living beings, cha, and aham, I, sannivishto, situated, hridi, heart, matta, from me, smritir, remembrance, jnanam, knowledge, apohanam, forgetfulness, Vedas, by the Vedas, sarve, all, aham, I, eva, certainly, vedyo, knowable, vedanta krit, compiler of the Vedanta, vedavit, knower of the Vedas, eva, certainly, cha, and aham, I. Paramatma is a form of the Supreme Lord located in our heart. He gives the Jivatma, the living entity, remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. He is an incarnation of the Vedas, which can mold our lives so we can go back to the Supreme Lord. So who understands Paramatma? Let's find out in Sloka 15.17 of the Bhagavad Gita. Uttama purushastavanya paramatmeti udartaha yo lokatraya mamishya vibhati avyaya Aishwarya. In all the three worlds, containing all souls, conditioned and liberated, there is only one Supreme Lord. A form of that Supreme Lord is situated in our heart as Paramatma. The wise man who can understand him is the only one eligible to attain perfect peace, no one else. The Srimad Bhagavatam is not the only scripture that talks about Paramatma. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto, second chapter, verse number 11, it is said that Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnana madmayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti satyate. There are three forms of the Supreme Lord: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Brahman is the attributeless form. Paramatma is the form situated in our hearts. Bhagavan is the Supreme Lord himself. The Upanishads compared Jivatma and Paramatma to two birds sitting in a tree. The Jiva bird eats sweets and bitter fruits, while the Paramatma bird watches its friend eat. What the bird eats can be compared to karmic results. The Jivatma and the Paramatma are always together. Even at the time of death, the Paramatma guides the Jiva to its next birth. In summary, Paramatma is a form of the Supreme Lord situated in our hearts. Krishna Bhaktas, however, have no desire for these forms. Only yogis and jnanis desire Paramatma and Brahman. Krishna Bhaktas, however, are attracted to only Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, so he can manifest in their hearts.
and they can lovingly serve him and be with him. This way, we can achieve the ultimate goal, which is to go back to the Supreme Lord and be with him. Thank you and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Tejas and today I will be talking about the universal form of Lord Krishna. Krishna created everything in this universe. He even created Mahavishnu, from whom all the material universes come from. When he breathes out, all the universes go out. When he breathes in, all the universes come back in. I'll be explaining the universal form in 2 slokas. The first one is chapter 11, verse 19 of the Bhagavad Gita. Anadi madhyantam ananta viryam ananta bahum tasi surya netram pashyami tvam tirtam hutasa vaktram swatejasa vishwamidam tapantam. Anadi, without beginning, madhya, middle, antvam, end. Ananta, full of, viryam, glories. Ananta, full of, bahum, arms. Sasi, moon. Surya, sun. Netram, eyes. Pashyami, I see. Tvam, you. Deepta, blazing. Utasa vaktram, fire coming out of your mouth. Swatejasa, your radiance. Vishwam, universe. Idam, this. Tapantam, heating. Arjuna says, you have no beginning, middle, or end. You are full of glories and arms. The sun and moon are your eyes. I see you blazing and fire coming out of your mouth. Your radiance is heating this universe. Here is another sloka that also explains the universal form. It is chapter 11, verse 22 of the Bhagavad Gita. Amihi tvam surasanga vishanti, kechit brita pranjalaya grinanti, swastiti uktva maharshi siddha sangha, stuvanti tvam stutibi pushkalabi. Groups of demigods are entering you. Some of them, out of fear, are offering prayers with folded hands. Great sages and perfect beings are praying to you by chanting Vedic hymns and crying all peace. So in summary, Krishna created everything. He's the cause of all causes. He even created Mahavishnu, from whom all the material universes and all of us come from. Krishna showed Arjuna the universal form, which is a very rare and amazing experience. Very few people, including Arjuna, had this experience. Thank you and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Anushree and today I will be talking about 2 slokas from the Bhagavad Gita. These 2 slokas are the entire essence of the Bhagavad Gita. There are 700 slokas in the Bhagavad Gita embedded into 18 chapters. From these 18 chapters, you can find these 2 slokas in chapter 18 verse 66 and chapter 9 verse 34, but the second one can also be found in chapter 18 verse 65. The Bhagavad Gita covers many subject matters such as Jivatma, Paramatma, and so on. It also covers different yogas such as jnana, karma, and so on. But Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate fruit of the Bhagavad Gita. It is the surrendering to Lord Krishna which is topmost. Now, I would like to talk about the first sloka, chapter 18, verse 66. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam charanam vraja aham tvam sarva pavebhyo mokchai swami matuja. In this sloka, Lord says, abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. By this, Lord is saying that he will protect all ones who surrender unto him and deliver them from all reactions of the sins. But it's hard to surrender to Krishna without surrendering to a guru. Krish, a famous disciple of Sripad Ramanujacharya, asked his guru this very same question: what is the meaning of this sloka? His guru said, only one
who serves his guru for an entire year will understand the meaning of this sloka. Kurush did not understand what Ramanujacharya was saying. Then Ramanujacharya said, "Okay, for 1 month, live by begging alms from door to door without knowing where your next meal will come from." 1 month passed. Then Kurush realized the discovered knowledge that Ramanuja had. This knowledge was that the only way to serve Guru is not by mere reading, but by offering respect and rendering service. Now, I would like to talk about the second sloka. This sloka is the crown jewel of the Bhagavad Gita. It is the topmost and most important. This is the entire essence. The Manmana Bhava Madbhakto sloka. This sloka can be found in chapter 9, verse 34, or chapter 18, verse 65. Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasti Yukvevam Atmana Madparayana. Manmana, thinking of me. Bhava, just become. Madbhakto, my devotee. Madhyaji, my worshipper. Mam, onto me. Namaskuru, offer obeisances. Mam, onto me. Yeva, completely. Evasyasi, will come. Yuktva, being absorbed. Evam, thus. Atmanam, your soul. Matparayana, devoted to me. So, we should always remember Krishna and never forget him. We should offer obeisance to him and worship him. We should surrender onto Lord Krishna's feet. By doing this, we will all surrender to Krishna and go to Krishna. Thank you for listening, and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Aishwarya and I'm going to be talking about the qualities of the great devotees of Sri Krishna. Now, what are their qualities? Let's look at Mirabai and Tulsidas. Both of them struggled a lot, but they had bhakti in their heart. How do we get bhakti? Well, the more we chant the Lord's names, the more bhakti we'll get. What type of bhakti will we get? Prema Bhakti. But how will we get the Prema Bhakti? By chanting Mahamantra. Mahamantra is quick and it's very easy to learn. So Prema Bhakti, if you get Prema Bhakti, we don't want any materialistic desires. All we want is that the Lord to be in our heart, the core of our heart. And this refers to Mukundamal Stotra by Kulasegar Alvar, verse 4. Naham vande tava charanayor dvandvam advandvaheto kumbi pakam gurum api hare narakam napanetum ramya rama mridu tanulata nandane napirantum bhave bhave hridaya bhavane bhavayeyam bhavantam. Now, who's going to give us the Mahamantra? It's your Gurudev. Without your Gurudev, how are you going to progress to your bhakti? You can't, because Gurudev is the only one who can give it to you. And to praise your Gurudev, this is a sloka. It says your Gurudev is equivalent to Maheshwara, Vishnu, and Brahma. And this is the sloka. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Thank you, and I hope this inspires you to become more devout in your religion. Thank you and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Mahika and today I'll be talking about who is the destroyer and maintainer in the material world. The answer is simple, Lord Krishna. Here is a sloka from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 8. Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha duskrutam dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya, for the deliverance. Sadhunam, for the devotees. Vinasaya, to destroy. Cha, also. Duskrutam, bad people. Dharma, principles of religion. Samstapanartaya, to reestablish. Sambhavami, I do appear. Yuge yuge, million after million. Going back to my very first question, which was, who is the destroyer and maintainer of the material world? I said Lord Krishna. Here's evidence for my answer from the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, I am the destroyer of evil and the protector of good. I will reestablish the natural law and come in every age. For example, Krishna comes as Rama to destroy Ravana, who was the evil in the material world. Krishna also comes as many devotees to spread peace and happiness. Thank you and Hare Krishna.